Hello, Libra. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your September 2022 Tarotscope. If you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. I would like to remind you, Libra, that this is a general reading, not a personal reading. So please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Before we jump in, I do want to share with you, Libra, that I feel like the month of September is a month of transformation. And I feel like that's going to look very different for everyone, depending on where you're at in your soul journey, your level of resistance, right? All of these sorts of things. Like, I feel like it's going to look very different for everyone. Some may find this incredibly challenging because I feel like there are some deep-seated and deep-rooted triggers or things that are coming up to be healed and dealt with. Okay, so that could feel incredibly challenging or overwhelming for some. All right, so I just wanted to kind of throw out that warning for you, or not even a warning, it's just for your awareness, right? For you to know that this is happening, or that at least that's what I'm picking up on. I would also like to share with you that as I was shuffling for your reading, I saw the Hermit in two separate decks. Okay, I was shown that Hermit card from two separate decks. And the Hermit is the energy of awareness, which is interesting because I feel like for you, Libra, I feel like you're coming into new states of awareness. And I feel like this may feel overwhelming for you. I feel like you're likely to be integrating new things into your being. You may find yourself feeling exhausted. It may even show up as being or feeling kind of like sluggish, maybe even feeling like you have a cold or something. Now, I want to share with you, I am not a doctor. I cannot and do not give medical advice. However, I feel like for some of you, you may be experiencing this integration of energy, this new, or rather reaching new levels of awareness as difficult for your physical body, right? Like, I feel like it's challenging for your physical body, and that may be manifesting in ways that you're not used to, right? You may think that you're ill, but really you're just integrating new things. Again, I am not a doctor. I cannot and do not give medical advice. If you feel the need to seek medical treatment from a professional, please do so. All right. But I do feel like for some of you, that is indeed the case. Also, with that Hermit card, it is that energy of gaining insight, really looking over self, right? How do I word this? Yes, analyzing. Thank you. Analyzing yourself. And I feel like this is very much part of your inner journey at this point. All right, which may feel very difficult for some of you because you may be feeling like you need solitude, like you need to be alone, like you need to be able to process and sort through the things, right? That's that Hermit energy. The Hermit is the archetype of the wise man, right? And this is gaining that wisdom about self, right? And reaching the top of a mountain, as it were, to see what you've gained and learned through that period of self-reflection, through that period, of analyzing yourself, right? Through that period of solitude. It's like you learn and gain so much in that process. All right. So you may be feeling called to take some time alone, right? And I feel like this is important. If you're feeling that call, like you need alone time, it doesn't matter if it's a couple of hours or if you're like, I feel like I need to be alone for a damn week, do it. Because I feel like it's important for you, right? All right, let's jump into what the cards have to say for you for this month, Libra. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what does Libra need to know for September 2022? What's coming up to be healed and dealt with, please? What does Libra need to know about what's coming up for September 2022? Oh, that's way too many. What is going on for Libra? What are some things that are coming up, please? Now, yep, okay. Now, Libra, I do want to share with you that this energy that's coming through this particular part of the reading could be your own energy within your own psyche, within your own being, within your own experience, right? Or it could be things that you're experiencing externally that are being shown to you through other people, okay? Wow, I didn't even ask the question and that card came flying out. Holy crap. Um, can we get some clarity on this, please? Clarity on this for Libra about what's coming up. Yep, thank you. To be healed. Is that, yeah, that's it. Okay. Interesting. I was like going to keep going and it's like, put the brakes on. Okay, and why is this happening or why is this coming up for Libra, please? Why is this happening or why is this coming up for Libra, please? Thank you. Yep, thank you. And why is this important or what changes might come from this experience, from healing these things? Oh, thank you. What changes might come from experiencing these things, or why is this important for Libra's journey? Thank you. Okay, let me move these to the side before we get the other cards that we're using today. So we are going to also be looking at for you for the month of September, divine masculine and divine feminine energy. We're going to be checking in with those to see where both energies may be sitting. Before we pull cards on this though, I do want to share with you that simply because I'm talking masculine, that does not mean male gender. And because I'm speaking of feminine, that does not mean female gender. We have both within us, and you can be sitting in either or be rather balanced and be experiencing both. Okay, so take that as it resonates with you. If you resonate more with, say, divine masculine, maybe you're in divine masculine energy at this time. If you resonate more with the feminine energy, maybe you're sitting in feminine energy currently. If you're like, I kind of feel a little bit of both of these, maybe you're a little bit more balanced. All right, so just keep an open mind. What do we need to know? Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot for divine masculine, and I didn't even get the question out all the way. And for divine feminine, what's going on for Libra divine? Thank you. All right, there's lots of masculine energy here. Let's see what you got going on, Libra. So first off, we have here the teacher in the light attribute or upright position, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Now, what's interesting about this, Libra, I'm getting a couple of things. First of all, you are your own teacher, number one. And there are often times that you are your greatest teacher, right? Your soul knows what you need in order to expand, in order to grow, in order to align. Your soul knows, right? So oftentimes, even if it feels challenging, overwhelming, right, your soul knows what you need to be learning, what you need to be experiencing. And it's interesting because I had that energy of the hermit, and that's the energy not necessarily of the teacher, but of the wise man, right? And that is essentially gaining, okay, gaining that experience, skill, or wisdom to be able to share with other people. For others of you, well, I mean, rather, the other energy that I'm picking up on is teachers coming into your experience, right? People who are trying to help you align with your highest timeline, right? And it's going to be up to you to make those moves, right? To accept that knowledge that you're being given. There are some I feel will be resistant to this, right? Some will not be willing to accept what's being shown to them. I do feel like, yeah. I mean, it really does feel like there are some of you who are, it's like, how do I word this? Yeah, you like take this time to learn about yourself, right? To really analyze yourself, become more aware of self and gain these new levels of perception, right? And I feel like part of that is you learning these things so you can go help others, right? We are in a very incredible time period on the planet right now, okay? Earth is raising its vibration. The collective, humanity, is raising its vibration. And there are a lot of people who are sharing their wisdom and knowledge and things that they've experienced to help do that, right? And the way that we're able to do that is by going through the things, learning the things, and then essentially going back into the fire to get others. So I do feel like for some of you, that is applicable here. You may be an actual teacher. You may be actually sharing wisdom with students, whether that's in a healing fashion, a classroom setting, whatever it is, right? However that looks. Some of you may actually be teachers, but I really feel like there's something here for some of you about letting people teach you, accepting that knowledge, that wisdom, right? And for others, it's more about realizing essentially how much you have to offer, in the sense of, I have a lot of knowledge, I have a lot of wisdom, I have a lot of skill, I have a lot of experience that I can share with other people to help, okay? And for some of you, this is about like breaking out of yourself, as it were, to step into a space where you can teach people. Because I feel like some of you, actually, I'm being shown this in a really interesting way, as someone being afraid of their own shadow, which is interesting, right? It's almost like I'm afraid to have the light focused on me, because what if I say something and it's wrong or something like that? Like being afraid of being wrong. You have as well the victim. Interesting. And the light attribute or upright position prevents you from letting others be victimized or victimizing others. So first of all, I'm getting fear energy coming up. For some of you, I do feel like you've experienced a oh, beautiful soul, I just want you to know that I see you. Before I start saying this, and if this is for you, you will know. All right? I want you to know that I see you. Okay? Some of you have been through some very traumatic experiences. Things that left you feeling very small, very insignificant, and unable to protect or help yourself. Okay? Some of you. And some of you have experienced being victimized by people close to you and important to you. And this can be verbal, mental, physical, emotional, okay? Various different forms of, I would say, what I would refer to as like abuse, okay? Now, I want to step outside of that with you for a moment and say that I feel like there are things that you've experienced, and you've experienced them for a reason, because you're meant to be learning from them, okay? Rising above it, transcending it, not letting it hold you down, and you're meant to essentially help others to not be stuck in that space, to show and be a living, moving example that you can rise above traumatic things that have happened, forms of abuse, and you can essentially find your way out of that, right? You can rise above it, that it's possible. And I feel like for some of you, this is why you've experienced these things. That may not make it any easier, okay? But there is something here about sharing what you've learned through those things and overcoming them, that I feel essentially I'm kind of getting it as almost like what is the word? Advocate. Thank you. Almost like being a victim advocate, right? In a sense, like, hey, I experienced this, and this and this and this and this. And I never thought I would make it out alive, but I did. And since then, I've taken my power back, and I'm no longer allowing that thing, that experience, to victimize me and abuse me repeatedly over and over and over, because I won't let it go. And I feel like for some of you, this is the space that you're coming into. For some of you, you may have already started to move into this space, right? But for others of you, I feel like you are moving into this space of, I don't have to be the victim. I don't have to be that. I can rise above that and become an advocate, become a teacher. I can help people. I don't have to play small anymore. Okay? Very, man, like your reading, Libra and Virgos, whew, heavy, 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 heavy. We also have the prostitute in the reverse or shadow attribute position. Places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Now, for some of you, I find it very interesting that all of these cards that have come out so far are of more, not that they are specifically feminine, but each of these cards have women in them. Okay. That may be important. You may be listening to this as a woman and being like, okay, this is my story, right? Okay, so let me back up. For some of you, I feel there, you guys, just let me just do kind of like a disclaimer, okay? I have information that comes in, and I don't like to sugarcoat things. I don't like to keep bits of information back from what comes through, because that doesn't do anyone any favors, right? If I'm sugarcoating things and telling you that everything's light, love, and bunnies, you're not going to grow. You're not going to expand. You're not going to have that kind of, forgive me for saying, but that bitch slap from the tarot or the oracle to wake you up. Okay? And the information that I have coming through right now are things that are not necessarily comfortable to talk about. All right? But if you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable, you will continue to grow and expand. You will not play small, because comfort keeps you small. Okay? So I want to lovingly say that the information that I'm getting, the energy that is coming through, is that some of you have put sex, or how do I word this? No, not put sex, but essentially your value, right? Where you place your value is in your, like, is in sex. Now, I'm not saying that you're selling your body, okay? That's not what I'm saying at all. If that applies to you, it does, right? I'm not judging you. It's not my life. You are your own soul. You have to experience your own things, okay? However, I feel like some of you have put your value in your body and what you can offer in the form of your body versus the value of you as a human being, as a person with knowledge and a person with emotions and things to offer, right? Like you've placed your value in something, like within your body, and giving that away is how you find your value. And I feel like for some of you, you have used sex as a means to get what you want, or to try to appease other people. Okay. Now, for most of you, even if what I was just talking about applies, with this being in the reverse or shadow attribute position, places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. In other words, this is about I mean, it's kind of like selling your soul, right? It's kind of like selling your soul because you're giving away your power to things outside of yourself, material possessions, right? Being secure, having a place to live and driving a car and having a car or driving the car you want or whatever it is, right? It is this energy of putting your value in things that are not within you, right? Maybe it's partners. Maybe, again, maybe it's money. Maybe you've stuck around in situations that you saw red flags for or knew like were okay or whatever, but weren't really truly in alignment with your truth simply because it provided you with a form of security, whether that be material or a codependent type of energy where you're like, I need people in my life because I can't be alone, right? Like something here. And I feel like this is about you finding your own value, Libra. Like I don't know why I'm saying this, whether you're a male or female, I don't care, but no, like you don't have to put your value in sex or money. You don't. It's a choice. And I feel like this reading is asking you to choose differently. And finally, the storyteller. Oh wait, that was in the reverse. Let's keep that way so I know what we're doing here. All right, so the storyteller, making up tales that harm others. So first of all, for some of you, I feel like you may have played the victim. Like, and that's not to say that you haven't been put in situations where things were done to you, right? And you experienced things that were traumatic and painful. And I'm not saying that I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to say that feeling that way is not justified. Okay. However, sitting in this victim energy and continuing to perpetuate it over and over and over without seeking or finding ways to empower yourself does you zero favors. Some of you, I feel, have played the victim. For some of you, I feel like you've made up, and I do mean this very literally, made up, lied about things that have happened to you so that you could gain that sympathy or that pity from other people so you could stay where you're at. Okay? Which, let me just lovingly say, if you have people who are trying to help you literally rise above where you've been and you tell them bullshit, that is not going to come back on you very well. Okay? Because that is them dumping in their heart and their energy, and it's not an equal exchange. It's you basically telling them, I don't care. Okay? And I don't feel like that applies to everyone, but it is coming through. Now, I don't know what this is. There's a lot of healing going on here with this green energy. Okay? And I feel like there's something here about taking responsibility. Taking responsibility. Because I feel like although it's like there is reasons, I feel that victim energy, that you've been in that you've felt that and experienced it, like there's a reason, but it feels to me like there's something here where you just continue to sit in it and sit in it and sit in it and sit in it. And if you have children or partner or whoever, like that affects them. You continuing to sit in that space and not move from it keeps you small and keeps everyone around you small as well. Like when you grow, people around you grow. When you expand, people around you expand. And I feel like there's something here about you kind of like taking responsibility for yourself and rising up, right? Not letting yourself victimize yourself. Because I feel like for some of you, you've kept yourself in this cage because you have a belief about yourself that it's like, and you keep perpetuating that belief, right? Like I'm small, I don't have any, I can't help myself, blah blah blah, I need somebody to help me. And the reality of it is you don't. We all need people, sure, but you're capable of rising above this on your own, right? You don't have to, like, there's a difference between having support and being codependent on people. Okay, a huge fucking difference. What's the tarot got? 5 of Cups. Loss, grief, disappointment, mourning. I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself based on everything that's come through here. And look at the similarity in color. This is about you letting this go. Do you see her? And by the way, we're still with all these women, by the way. Just saying. So I do feel like this is a feminine aspect of self, even if you're a male listening to this. And we have another female out here. Okay. Look at, she's dumping the shit down the drain, as it were, because it's not serving her. I feel like there are things here that need to be let go of with this 5 of Cups. I feel like for some of you, that victimhood, right? Again, I'm not saying it's not justified by any means. And actually, as a matter of fact, I want to say for some of you, that thing, whatever, or those experiences that created this like grief for you, where you may have lost a bit of yourself, there is an energy here of allowing yourself to feel those things. Because for some of you, I feel like you've just tried to ignore them, push them down, not talk about them. Not really, right? And for others of you, it's like I just feel, I don't know why I'm getting this, Libra, but for some of you, you've been using these losses, these disappointments, these things as a crutch to keep you small and comfortable. And this is everything is saying here. It's time to rise above this. 7 of Swords. Abso-fucking-lutely what I was just talking about. This is new tactics and strategies, doing things differently, because what you have been doing has not worked. It has not worked. Holding on to these things has not worked. And again, like everything that we experience in this reality, like you're meant to learn and to grow from it and move on. Not meant to hold on to it. You're not meant to stay stuck in that energy, stagnant in that space. Okay? Knight of Swords, taking action. This, yes, literally, I've been talking about being stuck, stagnant, sitting in the same old energy over and over and over. And I feel like there's, even if you don't say it out loud, Libra, there is some part of you, and this may not resonate with everyone, you'll know if it's for you. There's some part of you, again, even if you don't say it out loud, it's like, why me? Why me? Why does this always happen? This day sucks. This day shit. Blah, 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 blah. It's time to get out of that mentality. It is time to change your mindset. And if you want to change how you feel on the inside, because that's what cups are your emotion, your intuition, your spirituality, your relationships, right? Your feelings. If you want to feel differently inside, you've got to change your mindset. That is what Swords is. It's your mind, your logic, your ideas, your awareness, and your perception. And you have the Cups with 2 Swords energies coming out. And that Knight of Swords is about taking action. That 7 of Swords is about changing your tactics and strategies, because I feel you've been deceiving yourself into thinking you're something that you're not. This is what I feel you're healing, Libra. but you have to take action, because the only person who can change this around is you. That's it. It don't matter who your partner is. It don't matter what teachers come into your life. If you don't decide that you're no longer going to be the victim and sit here and feel sorry for yourself, if you don't decide that that's something you want to move away from, if you continue to sit in fear, pardon me, that is where you will stay, because it's you. That's it. Nobody can do it for you. Why is this happening? We have Heart of Source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance. Yup. Serenity. Again, it's that energy of accepting the things, feeling the things, forgiving yourself for, I don't even know, like I feel like for some of you, and this may trigger people, but for some of you, it's like forgiving yourself for allowing those things to happen, whatever they are. Forgiving yourself for not feeling strong enough to stop it, whatever that is. Forgiving yourself for letting things happen continuously. If this applies to what I was speaking of earlier, right? Emotional, physical, mental abuse, verbal abuse. Forgiving yourself for not having boundaries, forgiving yourself for looking at the red flags and moving forward anyways. This is about loving yourself through all of the shit, the good, bad, the ugly, the mud, the shit, all of it. Truly loving yourself, right? Unconditionally accepting you for you and where you are right now. I feel like this is important and it's coming up because it's breaking open or trying to crack open your heart space. If you don't love you, Libra, how can you expect anyone else to love you or know how to love you? And I want to lovingly say that, like, someone who buys you things or spends, like, how do I word this? Like, buys you things or caters to you, or, right? Like, that's not what I'm talking about. Unconditional love. In other words, if you walked out of that relationship, completely walked out of that relationship, that person would continue to love you regardless. That's what unconditional love is. Right? That's not an excuse for somebody to, do a bunch of horrible things to people and just tolerate it. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not unconditional love. That's trauma. Okay? But unconditional love, if you're like, hey, I need to take a week by myself because I got to figure some shit out, everybody who loves you unconditionally is going to be like, okay, let me know if you need anything. I'm here. Take your time. Right? Whatever it is that you need to do for you and your experience and those you love, like, they will understand, because that's what unconditional love is. We have here crystal skull, wisdom, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. You cannot make this shit up, because I've said repeatedly, there's a whole lot of healing going on here. Number one. And number two, it is to get you into alignment with your highest possible timeline, which is not, if this reading resonates with you, is not where you've been sitting. This reading, I feel, is meant to bring you clarity, and that's why this is happening. I feel like for some of you, this reading, like, if you see this, it's because it's like you maybe were like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is what's wrong. These things are being brought up for you to heal, to be dealt with, because your vibrational frequency is trying to rise and get you more into alignment with who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. And it can't if you hold on to these things. We also have Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge. Again, you cannot make this shit up. This is a similar energy from what I was picking up on, right? And like I said, if you feel like you need a week by yourself, fucking take it. If somebody walks out of your life because you need a week on your own, That is not your people, Libra. It's not. It's really, truly not. It shouldn't matter if you take fucking a week or a year or 5 years. Unconditional love will say, do what you got to do for you because I want you to be good with you. And that has nothing to do with anyone outside of yourself. Not your partner, not your mom, not your dad, not your uncle, not your bestie. Nope. If they can't fucking push aside their own needs so that you can give to you and fulfill your needs, it's not your people. Even Jesus went off by himself because he needed to regroup. He needed to be able to process shit. He needed to be able to recharge himself, his energy, to reconnect with himself. Even Jesus. Okay? So don't think that it's not something important, that you can just kind of push it on the back burner and it's going to be fine. No, that shit will keep coming up over and over and over. Why? Because it needs to happen. It's what needs to happen. And here's the thing, your life path, because we have retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, and Dharma. Dharma is your life, the unfolding of your life path. This is what is trying to happen. This is why all of this is coming up. And again, right, like I was saying, if you're like, hey, I need to take this time for myself and people can't respect that, it's about you trusting the process. Like, this is what I need to do. And either you're going to be here waiting when I am ready, or you're not. And trusting that if somebody's not going to be there, that your divine creator, God, the universe, whatever you call it, will bring in something better. When you are ready. Okay? And a lot of it is about when you're ready. You may think you're ready, right? That doesn't mean shit. We as human beings think a lot of things that are incredibly inaccurate. Okay? So I'm just saying. So now we're going to be looking at, right, why is this important? What changes might come about because of this experience and dealing with these things, healing them. First, we have morning dew. Look at this. Holy shit, banana balls, Batman. You have clarity again. This is meant to bring you clarity on, perhaps I feel for some of you, why you felt stuck. Or for some of you, why you felt like you're crawling in your own skin. Even if your life is going generally okay or generally well. Okay, so we have clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I feel like this is, again, like the changes that come from this, I feel like you will change your perspectives and start to see life in a more positive way because you're not sitting in that victim mentality and playing small. Right? The more limitations you put on yourself, the more you suffocate your soul. Right? And I feel like opening that up and saying, like, I'm not going to be the victim. I'm not going to continue to let this thing control my life. It is essentially, let me just say this so lovingly, Libra. If you've been victimized by someone and you continue to allow that to influence your life every single day, they are victimizing you over and over and over, and you're letting them. You are letting them. So this is about you really stepping into this energy, moving it, transmuting it, becoming the alchemist, and seeing a fresh new start, experiencing a fresh new start. And this is important, I feel, for your journey, right? I feel like this is important for your soul path. You also have here the rose thread, inner call, soul led, the mystic, and living courageously. Yep. Because what is it? Look at, it's like you're playing small. This is about you coming out of that. Living courageously, like, I'm going to actually fucking live. I'm not just going to be alive, I'm going to live. Right? And I do feel like your soul is nudging you. It's nudging you and nudging you. And I feel like that's why there's so much discomfort, because your soul is like, let me the fuck out. But that ego drive, that victim story, that playing small is keeping that in. It's like creating this conflict, this butting of heads within yourself, right? You cannot be pissed off, furious, infuriated, and happy, blissfully happy at the same time. You cannot do it. It's impossible. Similarly, you can't be sitting in lower vibrational energies, resistant energies, and experience flow and experience abundance and experience fulfillment, right? Because you're blocking yourself off, you're closing yourself off to those vibrational frequencies. And so this is that energy of like, hey, your soul's like, hey, can we come into the out now? Okay. So if you've been feeling that like, oh, I can't stand to be in my own skin right now, that is why. I feel we have the Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. For some of you, I do feel like there's something here about your mom. Okay, maybe you were victimized by your mom. I don't know, right? For some of you, this is about your mom, healing things around your mother, okay? But we have here, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. Like, it's okay if you don't know what the fuck comes next. It's okay. This is an energy of like, God's got you. It's okay to not know all the things. It's okay to just kind of observe and see what happens. Like, follow your intuition, right? Because you have soul led here with the rose thread. I don't know if you can see that right there. Soul led, right? That's following your intuition, following what feels right, surrendering to the mystery, fall into her arms, let love in, let your love out, set yourself free, and essentially surrender to the mystery that lies before you, because it's something new that you have not experienced yet, but you have to give yourself permission to go forward. And these are changes I feel that are coming. Like, first of all, I feel like your intuition will turn up tremendously once you release some of these lower or resistant frequencies, right? I feel like you're probably a lot more intuitive or, psychic or what have you than you realize. Okay. And then we have, right, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. Like, I feel like the changes that come from this are essentially you not being so worried about what comes next. Because for some of you, I feel like you're incredibly worried about that. Incredibly worried about what comes next. I feel like a lot of you have anxiety and are always worrying about what's going to happen. Damn, you have the mother rose too. So yeah, for some of you, this definitely has something to do with your mom. For sure. Okay. And this is asking you to deep dive, to really clear your energy, to process some things. But we have returning to each other, compassion and humanity. And here's the thing. I want to say this. I feel like this is about you returning to you, Libra. Like, I know it says returning to each other, but I feel like it's you returning to your soul, because I feel like there's some part of you where you've disconnected from yourself. Like, and I feel like it's because maybe you didn't want to feel things. Okay. And I feel like this is about you being compassionate towards yourself and realizing that you're only human, that you are, I shouldn't say you're only human, because you're not only human, you're a divine being, but that you are human. You and as humans, we feel things. That's the reason why we're in a physical body in the first place, is to experience and feel things. Like, this is very well talked about in the book. I think it's like The Three Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth or something like that by Dolores Cannon. Very fascinating, very fascinating. But I like, it's part of why we're here to be able to experience things, to learn, to grow, right? You can't do this in your soul form. We don't experience things the way we do in a physical body when we're in a soul form. We don't, right? So I feel like this is part of you understanding, like, you're a human being. It's okay to feel things. And I feel like this is also about you being, again, being compassionate to yourself and forgiving yourself for not knowing what you didn't know. Forgive yourself for, allowing yourself to be taken advantage of or to be harmed or victimized or whatever it is. Right? Or maybe you ignored red flags and win anyways. And then it was like, oh, shit's hit the fan now. I should have listened, right? Why am I so stupid? No, sweets. No, that's not what we do here. Right? Have compassion for yourself. You don't know what you don't know. Okay? So checking in with the divine masculine energy. We have Love Sick by Kirtan. But you're perfect and you don't believe it. It's like you don't see it. Not at all. So yeah, I mean, I feel like for some of you, I'm sorry, the ink is very light on these cards that I've made. But I feel like this is you seeing you for who you actually are at a soul level, not as the victim. That's what I feel like this energy is about. And again, I don't care if you're a male or female, doesn't matter. You can be in this energy either way, right? So I feel like for some of you, there's this energy of like, why did I let that stuff happen? And not seeing yourself as the victim, but actually opening up and seeing how wonderful and glorious you truly are. You are a beautiful divine being. You are incredibly powerful. You have a lot to offer the world. And I think you probably see this in those that love you and care for you and those that want to interact with you and want to share life with you, right? You are an incredibly valuable individual. And I feel like this is part of you. It's like you don't see it. And I feel like the universe is like, hey, Libra divine masculine, don't you get it? You're perfect. As you are right now in this moment, just be. We have here Raging by Kygo. I know that you hate it, and I hate it too. Or excuse me, I know that you hate it, and I hate it just as much as you. But if you can brave it, I can brave it. Brave it all for you. So you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Libra, I feel for some of you, this is definitely about you taking time for yourself. 100% alone. Solitude. No fucking cell phone, social media, text message, phone call, none of it. The noise for some of you, that is what is half your fucking problem. It's because you're trying to avoid so much shit internally that have all these external, what is the word? Stimulations. Thank you. And instead of diving in, you're looking at all those things. And external stimulation, what I mean by that, it can be music, it can be TV, it can be going and doing things, always keeping yourself busy, always working. It can also be like needing to have a partner or person in your life at all times, like needing to have somebody around you all the time, always seeking that attention from others, right? That external stimulation, because if you're externally stimulated, you don't have to look within. If it's so noisy around you, then it doesn't get quiet enough for you to hear your own self. And that is what I feel like. I feel like that's what this card is saying. For some of you, you need some fucking alone time. And those people, like I was saying earlier, the people who are actually your people will do that, right? Like it says, if you can brave it, I can brave it. Brave it all for you, no matter how long it takes, because I love you. So release that fear. And the people that won't do it, again, are not your fucking people. They're not. You have things that you need to do for your life. And if people around you cannot or will not acknowledge and accept that, they're not your fucking people. I don't care if you've been married to them for 20 years. I don't care if you're so in love that you can't see straight. I don't care. They're not your people. We have Deep End by Lecrae, and this is the energy I was feeling and picking up on too as well, right? Because I felt like it's like crawling out of your skin. It says, I ain't trying to hang on like my mama told me. Sometimes legs get weak and your arms give out, and you sink to the bottom slowly. A grown man wishing that somebody hold me. I know it, like, again, I feel like this energy, like this deep end. So if you've never heard this song, the chorus goes something like, I've been trying not to go off the deep end. Give me a reason. And I feel like there's this energy of like you crawling in your own skin and you're trying to like go through it and are like not understanding and are missing the signs or missing what you're supposed to be doing. And I feel like part of that is because there's so much noise. And I feel like you probably feel, like I was saying earlier, exhausted. You probably feel tired, maybe even sick, right? And there's an energy here of like, yeah, but you've got to kind of come out of that. And if you can learn how to hold yourself, you're not going to need anybody else to hold you up. Okay? I mean, for some of you, I feel like there's the need for me to say, like, you might want to take a listen to that song. Okay? We also have here Home to You by Cade. Different time, far from home. Hate having to fly here without you. Worrying about where you are. Hoping that you go to your bed alone. 'Cause I know you're quite the dime. Shoddy, girls like you, or gems like you, excuse me, are hard to find. You stay on my mind. So, love, like whether you're male or female, you're valuable. You are so valuable. And again, if you see your own value and you're like, hey, so-and-so, I need to take a week or a weekend or a couple of days and just have some time to myself so I can process some shit. And I feel like some of you don't do that, even though you feel like you need to or should, because I feel like you're worried about what your partner or friends or family or whatever are going to do in your absence. Like, are you still going to be my friend when I come back around? Are you still going to be my partner if it takes me a week to figure this shit out? We also have Aura by Dennis Lloyd. I gave you everything. You gave me nothing for what I have done. I gave you everything. You gave me reasons. Oh, baby, I'm done. You had no aura. I had no wings. You had your troubles. I had my things. So for this energy, you guys, I'm going to be straightforward, like divine masculine. I feel like there are things that are coming up that's like, for example, it's interesting how I'm seeing this, and I don't think I've ever seen it this way before. I gave you everything. You gave me nothing for what I have done. I gave you everything. You gave me reasons. Oh, baby, I'm done. And that for me, I feel is you've been getting hits from your intuition. You've been getting these nudges that say, hey, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should try this modality. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's, I don't know, reading, whatever it is, like things to help you. Right? I feel like you've had teachers or people come in who are like, hey, this is something you can do to help yourself. And I feel like you know the things. And so it's like your soul, divine creator's like, I'm giving you the things. I'm giving you all the things. And it's like, you give reasons. You're keeping yourself stuck. And I feel like it's time for you to fly, Libra divine masculine. This is why all of this is coming up, to release you from this feeling. Like, I feel like I'm a caged bird. Divine feminine. We have Naked by Alice in Wonderland. It's always easy to say you love me when I'm naked. It's always easy to say you love me when I'm naked. And here's the thing, that was the energy I was picking up on here, where some of you may have put your value in your body and what you can offer in the form of sex or in the form of your body. Divine Feminine, I feel like this is something you're working through. I feel like there's something here that is trying to help you to find value in yourself that has nothing to do with sex or your body. Okay? Cannot make this stuff up. It's wild to me. And finally, we have Make It Out Alive by Nick Kingsley and Emma Hughes. Got me craving all the things I miss, and I wish I could let go, but your heartbeat stills me when I'm lonely. I can't leave, but at least I'm not alone. So this, you guys, Libra, this for me feels very codependent, which is interesting because I've never really, I love this song. I love this song. And I've never got that from this song ever till right now. I feel like for some of you, you're very codependent, right? I feel like for some of you, you maybe have never been alone or haven't been alone in a really long time. And I feel like this is why this is coming forward so heavy. Because it's like, I wish I could let go, but your heartbeat stills me when I'm lonely. That's relying on somebody else, right? That's not being able to keep your own shit balanced. Not seeing the value in yourself, not being able to essentially, what is the word, please? Regulate. Thank you, Lord. Being able to regulate your own experience without someone else. And that's what I feel, Divine Feminine, you're learning here. Or what is trying to be shown to you so that you can have a different experience. Again, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. I feel like overall, this is about you stepping into your life path, trusting that and gaining a lot of clarity, a lot of clarity, and allowing yourself to heal so that you can get more into alignment with your highest timeline. Okay? Libra, I want to thank you so much for being here. I truly do appreciate your time and your energy. I'm so very grateful for you. If you found that something in this reading resonated for you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, and or subscribing. It helps my channel to grow and tells YouTube that there may be something here for others to see. So thank you so much for doing that. I truly do appreciate you. I hope you have an incredible, incredibly powerful, empowering month. I hope that you grow and expand beyond what you thought you could do. Take care of your beautiful soul. Have an amazing month, and I hope to see you on the next one.